Right, Geo Explorers, let's be off to Makueni in Kenya, where we know that there's an amazing small-scale food supply project taking place. It involves building sand dams and improving the economic, environmental and social conditions for people in that region. I'm going to draw some diagrams to illustrate this project holistically, how it can help overall in lots of different areas. You're going to draw along, annotate, and then answer some questions at the end. Well, let's get going. So let's title up this bad boy. It is a local food security program. It is in the region of Makueni of Kenya. Now, before we go any further, it's really helpful to understand what the climate is like in this region. And it's described as being semi-arid. Arid meaning dry, so semi-arid meaning dry half of the time. And the reason for that is there is a dry season where the sun is intense and there's little to no rainfall. During that time, any rivers are either very small or dry up completely. So we can talk about rivers with low flow or no flow. This is clearly a problem if you are relying on that water to grow your crops and support your community. The other half of the year will see a rainy season, characterized by often torrential, very heavy rain. In these seasons, our river is flowing very fast. Excuse the siren, selfish. So selfish. The river is flowing very fast, and that is posing its own problems. It can lead to floods. It leads to high levels of soil erosion and a decrease in fertility. So both dry season and rainy season pose their problems for food production in semi-arid regions. But in Makueni in Kenya, they've come up with an appropriate technology that's cheap, using local resources, that is really helping to deliver solutions for their food supply. That appropriate technology is sand dams. So let's have a look at how these sand dams might work. First of all, on a slope, a dam will be built, constructed out of sand blocks. So sand mixed with either mud and stones, maybe a little bit of cement, but something or kind of materials that people can get hold of locally. So this is our sand dam, made from local materials. It is cheap and it holds the water, or holds flood water in the rainy season back. So this creates a small reservoir behind the dam. That flood water of the rainy season is collected, and all of the valuable nutrients that may have been washed off the soil are now able to deposit or be deposited, and builds up a nice thick layer of nutrient-rich soil at the bottom. So nutrients washed away by the rain, deposited, and increase soil fertility. So far, so brilliant for the sand dams. Well done, sand dams. But that is not all, my friends. Equally, this water being trapped behind the sand dam encourages greater infiltration. So infiltration, and that recharges the groundwater so that well into the dry season people can have a good supply of water. So supplies water through the dry season. But this is a case, folks, of benefit upon benefit. By also infiltrating through the soil and the rocks, it is filtering and purifying water, which leads to a reduction in water-borne diseases, e.g. typhoid, and means that people are healthier and more productive. What is not to love? Now, in addition to these sand dams, people have been trained and encouraged to plant trees. The benefit of these trees is that they provide, so we can say afforestation, which is the planting of trees, and they provide soil stability with their roots. Going off screen slightly, and therefore reduce soil erosion. Lovely trees, we love trees. Now, this infiltration of water, more groundwater, and just these kind of small reservoirs allow more agriculture and farming, cultivation. So farmers can start and are trained in planting crops, irrigating them, and growing new varieties. So we get an increase in yield. So we'll say farmers trained, increase yields, increase nutrition, and increase productivity. In fact, let's say increased income. Because any excess, like fruits and vegetables that are now being grown, the tomato, for example, can be sold at market for a small profit. So this is an economic benefit, and this is particularly benefiting the women of the community who will set up these small businesses to go and sell the produce in town. Just want you to be able to see my little ladies up there. So we've got the farmers being trained, increase in yields, increase in nutrition, increase in income, and then all of that is sold at market. One other economic benefit is this way. With this surplus of water, people can collect the water. Let's do someone standing on the sand dam, putting a bucket in and pulling it out, and then transferring that onto a trusty motorbike, or as it's known in this part of the world, a picky, and then strapping the water to the back and transporting that to market. where there'll be less water available, and so another opportunity of making money. And this is particularly for younger men, adolescents, boys of the village, and gives them an opportunity to provide an income for their families. So lots and lots of benefits to the sand dam schemes. Let's have a couple of questions before I set you going on your own writing. Explain how sand dams can increase the fertility of the soil. Great. They trap the water and sediment that might have been washed away by rain, encourage it to be deposited, which then increases the soil fertility. Well done. Why are trees planted as part of this project? That's right, because their roots are helping to stabilize the soil and they reduce soil erosion. Explain how women of communities in Makueni are benefiting economically from sand dams. Excellent, yes. Yields are increasing and they're able to grow different kinds of crops like fruits and vegetables, which they can then sell at the markets to make a little bit of money to support their family. What are the benefits of the sand dams encouraging water infiltration? That's right. So it allows the groundwater to be recharged, and so they have water for longer into the dry season. But also, don't forget, it filters and purifies that water, making it safer to drink. So it reduces waterborne diseases like typhoid. Explain how sand dams are an example of appropriate technology. Good, exactly that. They are made from local materials, easily accessible. They are cheap, and actually what I forgot to add in here is that they can be built and maintained by local farmers. They do not require skilled engineers to come in and do it. Once shown, they can do it for themselves as a community, making it appropriate technology, which means that it is a sustainable technology. Okay, well done. Now, time for you to answer some questions. So here they are. Number 1, explain how sand dams increase the fertility of the soil. I'm going to say that's worth 4 marks because there's quite a few connections you can make there between floodwaters, reducing runoff, stopping soil erosion, deposition, building up nutrients, increasing the fertility. Explain how sand dams have delivered economic benefits. Once again, 4 marks. I think you can talk about adolescent men, boys, and you can talk about women and markets. Number 3, explain how the sand dams are sustainable. You're going to mention appropriate technology. The fact that it's appropriate, how is it appropriate, makes it sustainable, and also it supports natural systems, encourages more plants to grow, and therefore biodiversity is supported, less soil erosion. That, I would suggest, could be a 6-mark question, but I'm going to put 4s here. So, try and answer these questions without referring to your diagram and annotations. You may flick to them to check out one fact or look for a key term to improve your answer, but try not to copy out directly. When you've finished, go back to your diagram and then green pen anything you might have forgotten to put in that will have improved your answer in hand. Best of luck, and I think that is it for a local food security program. Makueni in Kenya.